Hey everybody, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about my insights about how much I realize the difference of requirements are between executives and the workers within a corporation. They both have two completely different paradigm realities. And if you take a look at it, it makes sense. There's some overlap, but they're very, very, very different. On the worker side, I listed these in order of priority based on my observation working with various different staff members, executives, and really pinpointing the issues. And for workers, the number one is job security. How can you operate in a job or a role knowing that A, AI is going to take over your job, B, your executives are going to lay you off, C, you might get fired because someone half your age just took over your position. And it really affects effectiveness and efficiency when you have this fear that is put into your psyche in the workplace. You become lethargic. You say, why should I even put forth the effort if I'm going to be laid off or if I'm going to be fired? So, job security is paramount in the back of everybody's minds. Second is appreciation from your upper executive staff. Why that's important is we don't want to feel like we're being taken advantage of, that we're a dispensable tool in the workforce, and that we don't care, you know? And that really affects our self worth and our perspective of we don't make a difference in the company. So appreciation goes a long way, and it doesn't have to always be monetary, although it's really nice when you get a raise or if you get a bonus at the end of the year. However, it's really important to be acknowledged and to have people understand that you're a vital part of the inner workings of a successful company, right? The third point is fair compensation. Now, that's a relative term because if you're getting a salary and you're expected to work 12 to 14 hours a day, you're almost working at, bare minimum wage. So it really doesn't equate to fair compensation if you're putting your whole life force into this company and you're spending more time at the job than you are with your family and your spouse. So really, fair compensation means that there has to be a work-life balance, and you have to be equally compensated for the amount of energy and effort that you put into the company. The fourth point, which is really I found to be fascinating, is that we all look for acknowledgement of our role and our energetic uh, contribution to the company. And we, as human beings, need to know that our efforts are contributing to the company and that they're acknowledged. A simple thank you or inter-office note on a project that you worked day and night for weeks was really well received. So it's that symbiotic relationship between your energy, the efforts, and the executives that it comes back to say, hey, you did a great job. It has to do with appreciation within the company and that your contributions don't go unacknowledged. Now, it's interesting because the executive side, the needs are very different. Similar in some respects, but they're very different because executives get compensated financially when the company becomes profitable. So it could be bonuses, it could be awards, it could be various different things. But executives thrive to make the company profitable because they know it'll eventually secure their job in the company. Second is when you know that your efforts have exponentially contributed to your ranking of your competition to you, meaning that you're a market leader. You know, nothing is better for IBM to know that they got They outdid the market leader, and now they're in reach of taking over, Apple computers in the IT sector, or the digital space sector. So there's always that competition that executives strive unconsciously that they want to outdo their competition. The third one has to do with the relationship between the boss and their coworkers, the staff members, and the people that they've hired. They want workers to follow their lead. They want them to cooperate with the plan, the strategy. Don't compete. Don't criticize. Follow and cooperate with the executive hierarchy, and do it without undermining the executive, because the executives, believe it or not, are sensitive human beings too. So when they get undermined or criticized in a way that makes them fearful of the workplace, they'll distance themselves from those people because they don't have the time because of the corporate pressures that they're under. So my role in all of this with the people that I work with is to help bridge the gap and understanding the inner dynamics of humans, their roles and their responsibilities, so that you have clarity of communication, that you can understand the roles and responsibilities, and I give you the tools to be able to increase your energetic sensitivity, awareness, communication skills, and strategy in order to execute your desires and your role in a constructive way. And that's really critical because everything comes down to human communication, strategy, cooperation, and the energetics of how you interact with your coworkers and with your executives. And that's really paramount to your success, to your security, and your growth within the company. Because every company wants people that participate in the company in a constructive way, in a energetically positive way, without reaction, without hostility, without any emotional interference with whatever may be going on with you in the job market. And I understand there's a lot of stress, anxiety, fear, attachment within the marketplace. My role is to give you the tools to master your inner energy, your surroundings, so that you can implement and be present when you're communicating and cooperating with your coworkers. So thanks a lot for joining me here. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next podcast.